Okay, so I got my books Heart to Heart, and I just opened it up, and I'm going to read you a couple of things from here. But this one starts out, it's called There's Hope, and it's got a picture of Yeshua. And so Siddhananda starts, and she goes, okay, a big dark one showing a dark stone. I said, yes, a nice big dark smoky quartz. It's got a lot of different layers to it. It's really nice in the light. Yeah, in the light it's very nice. It's interesting to see what energies choose what stones. She says, yeah, they're specific to what they choose. I think it's what's comfortable for that one. Sure, it's either something they need to develop or it's something that's comfortable for them at that moment. Yeah, at times, if it's a darker stone, they have a more shadowy energy. Yeah, sometimes they do. You can never say. Once in a while, no, but sometimes yes. Yeah, let's see what this one has going on. She pauses. I see the stone, it's pretty black looking in my mind with some black aura streaming from it. Okay, they're saying I have a twisted mind. I have a dark mind. Okay, well, why did they go off and when did that begin? That you started to have a twisted mind, because nobody comes in like that. That develops. So what caused it to develop? Spirits says, I've been involved in some wrong things. Right. Playing around with fire. Okay, playing around with fire? Like arson maybe? I don't know. Okay. Pause. Yes, they like playing with matches, with burning things. It could be symbolic of something else. Was anyone hurt? I'm hearing yes, some animals, maybe. I don't know, I'm just getting the feelings, and all I can do is convey the feelings of it's not good. Right. Maybe some innocent life was hurt? Yeah, they can get very twisted. This is what happens with serial killers and stuff. They start out and they develop, they abuse animals, and it gets very abusive. That's never a good sign. It's not a good sign addressing the spirit. So what caused the beginnings of that twisting away from light? Do you remember? Pain, wanting to hurt something else. Yeah, so they were in pain. And usually they want to afflict it on others. So what caused that pain for you? I was beaten and abused. Right. Maybe they were young, impressionable. Exactly. Because nothing comes in originally like that. You just don't. They could have had a number of incarnations where they had that abuse and they just, right. Do you know that that can be changed? Do you know that pain can be taken away? I'm seeing that he's holding the imagery of hurt things, innocent life, and you can seek forgiveness for that and come back to right the scales to work for those that you hurt. Can I? Yes, you can. I just feel like a demon spirit. We can have Christ come in right now and work with that. Christ can cast that out. Christ is very good at casting that out. Siddhananda pauses. Okay, Christ is there, very big in the scene, maybe even more. The rock is very small. It's nothing compared to that. Right. It's like a big angelic image standing above this rock. Yeah, and if you ask for forgiveness and you ask for light, Christ can come in and take that away. He can take that away. Okay, the rock is not so black looking in my mind as Christ is working with penetrating light and presence. Right. One can seek forgiveness, but you have to be willing to turn your back on those things and go from that point into a new path. It's possible. One can be regenerated. They can be forgiven. I see this soul almost like laying down asleep, almost like they were in such a deep dream with this stuff. Like they were in this deep Maya. Right. You see them asleep, and some of that dream imagery coming up, they were just very thick in this, inundated with it, right? This consumed them. It's sad, but you could see them almost like an embryo in there. It's like it consumed their every cell. But Christ is working, and the light is penetrating that image, which was just saturated. I don't think they had any awakeness at all. No, when it becomes really, really dark, really dark, they can go into that almost sleep state and get reabsorbed into the absolute with absolutely no consciousness. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, it's a feeling that way a little bit because I don't usually see this heavy dreaming that they're in. Right. They can become unconscious and be reabsorbed, lose their chance. Yeah, but that's mercy in the end. In the end, it's grace. Yeah, for them and for others too. But they do have a chance to turn around. If they have consciousness, they can be turned around and have life. Well, this soul is very deep asleep, although I feel Christ there. That will probably need some work. Yeah, that's going to need some time. So we ask that Christ be there, and we also ask that Kali be there. Kali sometimes works with that very dark energy and can again help to cut it away. Christ and Kali, nice combination. I like that blend. Yeah, Christ and Kali. It definitely comes in with a very different energy when Kali enters the scene. I see something that went in there like whoosh. But they're still thick in the dream. Yeah, it's going to take some time. Again, they have to be conscious enough to let go of it. It can't be taken from them against your will. Yeah, no one, not Christ, not Kali, none of the guides, masters, even God themselves, can take something away unless you're willing to let it go. You have to let it go. Yeah, and as you're speaking, I see their eyes open a little, but they're red and Raleigh. They're just really thick in the dream of dead consciousness. Right. The dead consciousness gets deeper and deeper until it closes down entirely. So you have an opportunity to move forward, but you have to try with all your being to be conscious and give it over and ask for that help from Christ and Kali. That's it. You have to be conscious. You have to stay awake and allow them to help you. They're rolling over a bit. They're moving. They're not just dead weight. Their eyes are opening a little bit, picking up the stone and holding it in hand and closed eyes. Okay, it's got a bit more quietness. I see some different colors coming. They're still in their bed of dreams, lost there. Yeah. Let's ask Christ, is there help for this one? Is there anything else we can do? And Siddhananda pauses and says, I do see that heart shining when you say that. Yeah, that there is some hope for them. Is there something we can do to make it better for these types? Sit them in stillness, I'm hearing. Sit them in grace, pretty much what we've been doing. So we'll just do what we've been doing. We'll go ahead and put this one over by the healing center because it might take some time for this. The ones that are really heavy like that can take some time to break through those dreams. Oh yeah. The consciousness gets suppressed. It gets so dark, it's got no energy left. That's it, dead energy, nothing to circulate. No, they think that when they are then in that dark, they've got more energy, they've got more power. But the further they go, they become dead. It just loses everything. They didn't move, they were just dead weight. They were so deep asleep. Right. One goes into unconscious realm of sleep, and those ones that are really unconscious will be absorbed back. It's like going into a black hole. Wow, I'm amazed they even care. If there's enough clarity to even come, then there's some hope. That they made it here, there's hope. I do see in mind that there's that tiny seed. Yeah, there's always that seed of light. If they can grab that seed of light, it can grow. But they've got to tend it, nourish it, and they've got to turn their back on that darkness. They have to be willing to turn their back and not engage it any longer. There's some compassion for those ones that had to endure that. But again, you hear about these heinous acts, and it's hard to even understand it. Exactly. But there has to come compassion because they're driven to do what they do. And they're driven in pain. They're in an absolute hell realm doing what they're doing. And they don't have feelings anymore. Right, they're so dead. They're trying to feel something. So yeah, it's drawn all to the negative, unfortunately. Yeah, it's sad. But all we can do is have them there by the healing center. Things turned around here. We've had some dark ones, but nothing to this degree, but we'll wait. We'll wait and see what happens with them. The heart is shining. The heart shining means there's some hope. We can't give up hope on it. All we can do is pray for that one, pray for forgiveness, and that they would open to that light. That's all. We can pray for that, the best be done in this situation at hand. So I think that's probably the longest one that's in here. Of course, I'm going to pull to the longest one. But we'll go ahead and we'll do one more. Oh, this is another long one. Let's see if we find one that's not so long. Some of them are very short. This one, the Great Baba Light. This is one of my favorites, the Great Baba Light. So Siddhananda showing a small clear stone. Okay, with this one, I don't know where I'm getting this from, but I'm hearing Great Baba Light. Great Baba Light, okay. Great Baba Light of love, Baba presence, Baba blessings, nodding. No birth, no death, Great Baba. Good, okay. Which one was that? This is the clear one. I don't remember who is in it. Yeah, I don't know who that one is. And I'm seeing some of the Babas here, so let's see. Great Baba Light, Great Baba Fire, like a Duni. That's what they're saying. Yeah, burn, like the Duni, the light, right. Duni fire. So the Duni, for those that don't know, the Baba Light, the Babas are the sadhus. The sadhus that are there that are worshiping Shiva, and they keep the Duni, the fire, going because it represents Shiva and burning away the dross, continuing to move your spiritual journey forward. So that's what this is talking about. Duni fire. Yeah. It is like coming to the Shiva presence to find out really what is and what is not. Yeah, exactly. Wow. I see a really nice fire. I do see some other Babas around it. Maybe it's also trying to help that energy. Yeah. I think that's it. I think he's trying to send that to the population to get that burning going. Yeah, to get that really entails. So many are caught up with the externals, they don't get the full realization of what it is. That's it. And I do see those Babas, how they live there. And so many are not focused on the true journey, the true path. It's true. And this light is so bright, he wants to spark their passion to move forward in the right direction. Right. Less drugs. Let's do it the right way. Right. So he's just saying, let this Duni fire burn bright like Shiva to burn away impurities. And it's growing higher. And those Babas are a little bit like, whoa, where did that come from? That really grew big. Yeah. They stopped whatever they were doing with the ganja and everything. And they go, wow, what's happening here? Yeah, they need a wake-up call. Yeah, so it's growing taller and taller, and he's saying, great Baba light, burning tall, burning bright, burn away the bad stuff, burn away the wrong. Yeah. So he's working on that, this one, and it's growing. Good, fabulous. So let him move on and continue with that, huh? Yeah, he can move on. If he wants to visit the healing center on occasion, that would be excellent. We might have to call him in if we get any more Babas. Yeah, because as I'm holding this rock and shut my eyes, I can see the fire coming from it, that Duni fire that's really bright and strong and purifying. He's great Baba light. He's great Baba light. Well, we'll ask him if the great Baba light would like to come back if we have any other sadhus that need some help. Yes, yes, yes. He's bowing. Yes, 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 he heard you. Maybe he can go visit Sundarpuri, referring to a Baba that was previous acquaintance of me, and wake him up from his drug-induced stuff. He heard you, and he will give it his best shot with that. He did hear you. He knows. He knows. Great Baba light. Thank you for great Baba light. Hand on heart. Baba light was fun this morning. Really fun. You just don't know that's going to happen. So those are two of the many that are here. And some of them are just ones like Big Baba Light that came in and wanted to share that. And they were helping from the other side. Now, Big Baba Light did come in and help with some errant sadhus that come in. They thought they were big and they were going to tell us about what a great, spiritual person they were until Big Baba Light got a hold of them. But that's another story. So anyway, I'll leave that here. But we have, there's all sorts of things in these 2 volumes. Some Christians, some not. And some of them just came in to share a message. And some of them came in to get help. So on that note, we'll leave that here. We'll see you online.